3, 2, 1, and we're off. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a special episode of Your Vibes podcast. I'm here with Miss Jessica. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm lovely. She's here to talk about their centennial celebration, growth, industry, and agriculture, 100 years at the Chamber, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess just basic overview. What exactly within the 100 years? I know that the Chamber has gone through several changes along the way, started in the 20s with some important people that we'll kind of bring into and tie the whole story together as she describes everything. But I just wanted to bring her in to kind of plug this event because Chamber's obviously a very important part of Dickson, right?
Yes.
And she had reached out to me and asking if I would help promote it, and I was obviously more than happy to. I enjoy the Chamber. I've been involved with the Chamber ever since I've really moved back into Dickson, and I've always found it to be a really crucial point, not just for the county, but for anybody trying to develop professionally and socially and all that stuff as well too. So I don't just right off the bat, kind of obviously the 100-year mark coming up is what sparked you to kind of do this, but as far as the planning that's gone on behind it and kind of how are you guys going to go about it?
So we decided that we knew we were going to have a big birthday this year. We're going to have, and that's coming up in December. But one of the other things that we had talked about is having a way to really show the community what all the Chamber has accomplished in 100 years. So I started researching kind of our history and found that we actually have minute books that go back to the 40s. We wish we had them even further back than that. So that's kind of
board
where...
meeting minute books?
Board meeting minutes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I think it's 41 is the first year that we have. So it's pretty incredible to have that. And I'm thankful that somebody did keep all of that. And then, going through storage closets and finding boxes of pictures and newspapers. And so my office has been a little bit of a tornado the last couple of months, but I have learned a lot, and it's really inspired us to see what all the Chamber has accomplished and how they've changed and been very flexible with the needs of Dickson County.
Cool. So was there a, what do you call it? Like a 50-year celebration at all? Do you know?
I'm not sure about 50. I know there was a 75 and a 90.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
We actually, one of the cool things in the exhibit is we have a picture from the 75th anniversary with all of the Chamber board presidents that were still living at the time. Wow. And so you'll get to see that at the exhibit, to see some incredible people who were there then. And then our very own Alan Reagan was a speaker for the 90th celebration.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow. So is this, what prompts the celebration? Obviously 100 years, but, 75 and then 90, those are two kind of odd numbers. Are you planning on doing like 110 year or 150 or?
I doubt 110. I think that's kind of weird. But I mean, I guess 90 is pretty significant.
That's true.
It's Stewart Lumber Company. We share an anniversary year with them. Oh. And so from what I can tell, we are two of the oldest operations in the county. Fuzzles is, I think, 84 or 86 years. I can't remember.
Okay.
So they're incredibly old as well.
Absolutely.
So it's just when it's rare for businesses or organizations to be around as long as that. So I think it should be celebrated.
Absolutely. Me too. And obviously the Chamber has kind of undergone several changes along the way, and leadership changes, and kind of what their role has been, because up until recently, the Chamber encompassed not only Chamber and Chamber members and Chamber activity, but it was also economic development as well too, until I guess just last year or 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
That's right. Yeah, and then they
almost three.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then they separated that out, and now Alex, I guess, is in the economic development position. That's
correct.
A county job.
Yes. And it's kind of to the point where the Chamber and economic development had become so big that it could no longer be wrapped up into one person cannot do it all.
Right.
So it was a good decision to be able to split those up. And so now Corey, who's the Chamber president and CEO, he focuses solely on Chamber and on membership, and he gets to be more one-on-one with our members. And then Alex whole focus is on bringing industries and growth of that type into Dickson County.
Housed under the same roof, though.
It is. So Alex is in our office. And so he's not technically a part of the chamber, but he is in our building. And it's great because my job, which is tourism, and economic and community development actually work really good together and work hand in hand on a lot of things. So having him right there in the office and vice versa works out well.
Yeah, it's always good to delegate. I mean, you have to. I remember when Joey was in there, the chamber president prior to Corey, that he'd always had a lot on his plate. He always had a lot on his plate dealing with, because I mean, in those economic development emails, you get an email interest, you pretty much got like a day to respond.
Yeah,
you know?
and you have to drop everything and get on that, because those are very, very large and lucrative projects, and people don't come knocking every single day. So when they do, you've got to be ready, and everything else kind of has to be pushed to the side. So
yeah,
being able to separate those, and we have, the chamber president should be focused on chamber members and the businesses in the community. And so now he's able to solely focus on that.
Yeah, and I couldn't imagine. I mean, heck, Corey's always all over the board at networking things or board meetings, or I guess he's in Murfreesboro now, or was the past
he just
couple
got
days.
back, but
Yeah, with just visiting other chambers and things like that. So I think that was definitely a necessary change. I guess kind of along the way first off, how long have you been with the chamber?
I have been with the chamber almost 2 years.
Okay, so you came on right as the changes happened.
I came on 2 months before COVID happened.
Ooh, boy.
Yes.
Exciting times.
Yes, it was. So it was definitely a learning experience, but it helped me. Things had slowed down enough that I could kind of learn the job really well in a slower paced environment to prepare me more for now, because it is nonstop now. We are busy, busy, busy.
Yeah. So what do you do over there on a day-to-day basis?
So I handle marketing and tourism. So I handle marketing the chamber. I also help with marketing our tourism assets in the county, along with our businesses as well. So a day for me really is social media, creating graphics. My background is graphic design, so creating graphics, any advertising you see, flyers, Facebook ads, anything, that all comes from my office, which is a good thing, so the chamber can advertise in-house. They don't have to use a third party for that. So I do a lot of that, a lot of phone calls. This morning I was meeting with a board president from 1979 and talking more things for the exhibit that's coming up next week. So I wear a lot of hats, but every day's different, and it makes it fun.
It does. So I guess it's you, Shay, Corey, and Dana, and Jenny over there.
Yes.
Yeah, so you've got a whole office full of women over there. I'm sure Corey just loves every second of it.
He gets a lot of nagging.
Yes,
yes. Somebody made the comment, behind every great man is an even better woman. And so I joked that our costumes for Halloween next year needs to be Corey with a shirt that says, great man. And then all of us are going to say better women.
Better
on our
women.
shirts.
There you go. I think that would go over very well. So as you being involved for a couple years at the chamber, I'm sure that you've kind of obviously learned some things along the way, and you had mentioned kind of before we started as far as how the chamber has adapted over the 100 years. So growth industry and agriculture is kind of your tagline for the celebration and exhibit. So I guess maybe obviously as the world does, it changes, and different industries and operations become more prevalent or less prevalent in Dickson County. So maybe as far as you can go, kind of, where did the chamber, what was their original role, and kind of how did it mold, along the way?
Shorter version is in 1921, a group of influential individuals within the county saw that essentially, the best way to put it, our county was dying. The iron industry was headed out. The lumber industry was just not where it once was. And so where we had risen to this great height, we were now looking at a huge decline in residents. People were leaving to go find jobs up north or somewhere else. And so they stopped and they took a look around, and they said, what can we do? We need to do something to fix this. And so that's how the chamber was born. They saw there was this need in Dickson County, and they wanted their county to grow and prosper. And so really cool thing that they did that not a lot of people know about is there was some legislature regarding taxes on tobacco, and tobacco was a very lucrative industry, and the southern part of the county wasn't growing tobacco. So they went and they helped farmers begin a tobacco crop in the south part of the county. So then you have tobacco growing all over the county, and then they start a market for that. And so now you have all of our agriculture now has a market. So it's sellable and it's profitable. And from the 20s, the 80s hit, and the agriculture industry was at a $10 million mark by that point. Wow. So those few simple steps in the 20s created the agriculture industry that we have today. And the other thing is our very first industry was the American Cigar Company.
Which is now Red Cat Flats, right?
No, it actually where the gas department is now.
Oh, okay.
So, but the American Cigar Company, my favorite part about that is it employed women, over 300 women.
Okay.
And so it was kind of incredible and progressive for its time. But I say progressive, it's because they said women had smaller hands and they could roll better cigars. But I like to look at it that it was progressive. So our first industry was brought in. And so with the chamber, those two things were their priority at the time. And because of that, we have a thriving agriculture industry, a thriving farmers market, and we have a thriving industrial park. So those priorities have led us to kind of where we are today. And then as time moved on, in the 80s, there was a boom in retail and commercial here in town. And so that's when the chamber started hosting networking events. Our chamber coffees, business after hours, ribbon cuttings, all of that started in the 80s, and that continues even through to today. So we actually had a chamber coffee yesterday morning. So, our focus has always been the same. We want Dickson County to prosper, but the way that we do that has adjusted and changed over the years.
Well, so just here recently, I know Dickson is obviously going through an explosion at the moment of growth, and Corey being young and progressive in his ideas, and having obviously a pretty young staff behind him as well. And you have Jenny, who's been with the chamber for how long? Like 16 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, so she's been through several chamber presidents, and really knows how that place works. I love Jenny to death. Like she
runs the place. That's what I tell everybody.
Definitely runs the place, and always has such a good attitude too, for the most part. As everybody, ups and downs, and I'm sure dealing with a lot of chamber members and things like that can get frustrating. But to the point is, Dickson, as we were mentioning earlier, as far as the youth population kind of really starting to take initiative in this town and running for office or getting onto boards or starting their own businesses. I mean, heck, a lot of Main Street are younger people, and really taking those chances and doing what they love. What are some things that Corey has done, or, obviously at the concerts and stuff too, is thinking about doing to kind of make, I guess, those changes as kind of the baby boomer society starts becoming a little more uninvolved in things, and the younger group kind of takes over, and as the tides kind of change, is Corey kind of looking at in the future doing some different things?
Something that he's done actually, and it's not just him, it's the group as a whole, but the rebranding of the chamber has made a big difference. So 2 years ago, they rolled out a brand new logo. Last year, we rolled out a brand new website, which our website now is beautiful, super user friendly. And so, but it's in with the times. It's very modern, and we're very proud of that. So just having on that end, kind of bringing us into where we are now in our time period, has been a huge step in that. One of the other things, and you mentioned kind of changing the tides, that I feel is really special with the chamber is if you go to a luncheon or if you go to most chamber events, it's very multi-generational. You have people who have been in this town forever and a day, and we won't name ages or anything, but
Right.
they are older. And then you have people as young as Corey, or Zach Kinslow. He's the director of the museum. They're both in their 20s. And so I feel like Dickson's really special in that we have this great kind of mixing of different generations. And I tell people you can learn a lot from the older generation, and the older generation can learn a lot from our younger generation. So that's kind of where we are. We're kind of in this little bit of a mix, and we continue to roll out, concerts and events that can cater to kind of everyone. Our concert, for example, we have a whole festival side, and then we have the concert side. So that kind of covers all those different generations, because we want everybody to prosper and to have a good time.
Absolutely. And y'all do a very fantastic job of that. I know you've thrown in also kind of young professional events.
Yes.
Ladies and women in business.
The women's event.
Yeah.
It's Women Inspiring Women.
Right.
You want to see multi-generational. We have women from their 70s down to their 20s in this
incredible.
group. And yeah, it's really fun to watch that grow.
It is. And it's fun to watch kind of everybody across the spectrum just interact in general, because I think you can kind of feel the excitement of the Dickson growth. And, obviously there's some that are resistive, for whatever reason. But I think for the most part, no matter what age, I think everybody's pretty excited to kind of see what's going on in Dickson, and the potential it has, for what the future holds and what other businesses to come in, and just kind of the growth in general. So, but having the chamber involved, because you're absolutely right. I mean, for the reasons it started, is that there just needed to be some sort of symbiotic relationship between connecting business owners and keeping just this fluidity of doing business and business development and customer relations and things like that too, instead of it just all being kind of sporadic. But to just bring everybody under kind of an umbrella of the chamber is really nice.
Yeah, it's the great thing about Dickson is I think the motto for Dickson is a great place to live, work, and play. And I heard a joke one time, we're like, oh, what did you do? Pull that off a community center sign or something? But to be cliche, and cliches are there for a reason, but to be cliche, that's really what it boils down to. We're great for, young couples coming in, young people coming in that are wanting to kind of take charge of things and to build things and to grow things. But we also have this incredible education system here. So we're hitting all of, the younger kids. And then we're a great retirement community.
Yep.
Because we do have incredible, unique things, rich history. And so...
And part of Retire Tennessee too, right? Are we still doing
we
that?
are not anymore.
Okay.
But we were at one point.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we are a retirement-friendly place too. So it's... Again, we kind of have this great kind of mixing generations that's really kind of lovely to see.
It is. Cool. So kind of now that you all have heard, kind of everything going on, and we've kind of built up to this centennial moment, what is the chamber? Give me some details as far as the day of the event and what to kind of expect at the event and why people should come.
So the event is going to be next Thursday, November 4th at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
It's a come and go event. It's not something that you've got to be there the entire time. One of the fun things that we are doing, and it's a cliche, but I love it, is at 6:30, we want as many people there as possible because we're going to do an actual ribbon cutting to open our exhibit.
Cool.
So like I said, it's a little cliche and fun, but I'm really excited about it. So we'll have a big ribbon cutting event for that. And so there'll be former board members and board presidents and just a lot of people from the community there that evening. We'll have some refreshments, light refreshments and things involved too. But the best part is that you'll actually get to see what the chamber does. Number one question we get asked is, what does the chamber do? And this really just highlights and displays what the chamber does.
So are there going to be speakers and kinds of things?
No, we may. It's very laid back event.
Okay.
when we first open the exhibit, we'll speak a little bit, but there's not going to, like we said, we want it to be come and go and laid back and easy for people to be able to attend.
Just kind of let the chamber members interact with
Yes.
you as well.
It's a big networking event.
Yeah, big networking event. And everybody's invited, right?
Yes.
It's not just a chamber member thing.
Everybody's invited.
Cool.
And the exhibit will be open throughout the month of November. So if you cannot make it that night, I ask that you please go by the museum. It's included with your price of admission when you go to the museum, and they'll walk you through, the history of the chamber.
And will Zach be the one walking you through, or you have to schedule an appointment,
there's docents there that know everything, and then of course Taylor and Jasmine.
Okay.
Now I do say that Zach is the Billy Graham of history. There is no tour like a tour with Zach. But everyone there is special, and they all bring a different perspective to the tours.
And is it the exhibit throughout the entire museum?
No, so we're actually in the upstairs gallery, where they typically do special exhibits.
Okay.
So we will be in the upstairs gallery, and they do have an elevator to get up there. So if you're worried about any type of issues there, they do have an elevator for you.
Okay. Cool. And it's no charge for the night of the event, right?
Correct.
But it'll be there for a month or so after. And
yes.
You can go in, was it $5, $10 or something? $15?
$6
maybe.
It's
very affordable.
And the museum, all that money goes to fund the museum, which is an incredible place. I mean, they're doing amazing things over there. Did you get to go to the murder mystery?
No, I couldn't. But I bought my tickets, but then I had an issue come up. So,
man,
but I'm
I
hoping
didn't get to go either. And all I have heard from people is how incredible it was. So
that's what I've heard too. So I think that hopefully they'll continue to do that.
I heard a rumor they're doing one around Valentine's Day.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I love a good Valentine's Day murder mystery.
There should be chocolate.
Yeah, there definitely should be chocolate. Now we're talking.
Yes.
Now we're talking. And I had Zach on the podcast not too long ago, so he's a super interesting guy, and just the Railroad Museum Hotel, Hallbrook, just in general, is amazing.
Yeah.
Just an amazing part of Dickson. So
it is. But no, we're really excited about the exhibit.
Cool.
My panels came in yesterday.
Okay.
So they were all up in our lobby yesterday afternoon for me to look over, but very proud moment because those were a lot of work. And I cannot take credit for the lovely writing. That's all Zach. So there's a reason why he has a master's and I do not. He's very good at that part.
Okay, great. So when is it again? Next Thursday from 6 to when?
8.
6 to 8. Ribbon cutting at 6:30.
Yes, 6:30.
Light refreshments.
Yes.
Free event at the Clement Railroad Museum.
And I think Mary Littleton and Michael Curcio are planning on being there as well.
Is Bob going to be there?
He actually will not be able to attend, but Mayor Weiss will be there.
Okay, great. Be sure to go support them. Is there like an event somewhere that they need to go check in at so you can get a head count? Or
Nope. You just it's all over Facebook kind of deal. So
show up and
get there early if you want to eat something. Some light refreshments. Just get there early if you want to make sure there is some.
Cool. Well, do you have anything else we need to say?
Send all your friends to Dickson County.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to come stay here. We have great hotels.
We have great hotels, right? There's the tourism coming out. We've got great events. We've got Boo Fest coming up this weekend.
Boo Fest coming up this weekend.
Yeah, Boo Fest is going to be good. DDA is really starting to do some things. Christmas, downtown Dickson and Christmas. We've got something going on every weekend. So, like she said, be sure to bring your friends and show this town off. It's worth it, and it's beautiful, and there's a lot of energy here, and it's just a vibrant community, and it's as Corey says, it feels normal and it feels like home. So
and we're unique
and very unique.
Yeah, there's not many places like us.
We got our own vibe going on.
We do.
Yeah, and it's a good one. Cool. Well, I appreciate you coming in, Jessica.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks, guys, for listening. Once again, be sure to like, share, comment. Get on there and subscribe to YouTube, please. I'm going to ask it every episode. It helps me out quite a bit. Share this with your friends. Share it on your Facebook page, on Instagram stories, everywhere you can. And until next time, peace.